Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. We're going to jump in the queue here. I noticed we went back down below 1900. Lost a ton of points for losing to Ninja XYZ, so... Ninja Assassin XYZ, I'm sorry. Well done with that win. We can in fact watch him play against Secular Man, who is in my league division, and no one has heard a word from him. He has not scheduled any matches this season. What's going on? We have Breach Proof with Thoriums and Ice Blades. Seems okay. It sure seems like Secular Man is winning. He's like just half a turn ahead on stuff, basically. Yeah. I don't know about those engineers. What exactly are you protecting? I'd rather just save it and buy Gauss cannons. Like, if you want to protect your Chrono Filter, I think it's too bad. He can kill it this turn if that's what he wants to do. So... I don't know. Maybe 2 health is what you need to save the Dynamo next turn? Doesn't look that way to me. The opponent can freeze all but 1 defense and then reach for enough to finish it off, right? K-Mean T. We played this guy a few times recently. Oh my goodness. Another big blue set. I just finished playing the game in the previous episode with the big ol' Savior game. Chrono Filter looks pretty good because then you don't have to commit to red. But you probably have enough drones that you want some red anyway, right? And there's Pixie as a blue sync, so you can get to like triple blue and then just spend 1 or 2 per turn while building like more efficient attackers. Because that's what this set lacks, right? Efficient attackers. You might as well like get Pixies and Tarsiers. So we're clearly going 3rd NG here. Blue first, and then you can get a Pixie or 2 or a grid depending as you continue to tech up. I don't think there's any way you can deny Apollo value, so Apollo is clearly good. I guess Chrono Filter also could let you get these 2 big ticket purchases without committing to a 3rd blue. But then you have to wait 2 turns in between buying them. Actually, that might be okay. Right, Apollo, and then 2 turns later, the opponent still won't have that much attack, so you can get the grid. Actually, do you even want the grid with Centurion around? Like, that's something I can never quite figure out. You might get the grid first. I don't know. Waiting several turns for Centurion always feels bad. Because like the dream, right, would be grid, and then on the turn it's dying, you get Centurion, and like, ta-da, he arrives. But that's, you know, Centurion's just a really good unit, and like, not getting it before then when you could afford it is kind of silly. But I don't know. If you have the grid to defend, then Centurion's not that good, and you can just build more Tarsiers and stuff. So yeah, maybe actually the Chrono Filter is fine. No, with Pixies I'd rather just get a 3rd blue and just buy an Animus, since I want a bunch of Tarsiers anyway. And keep in mind, of course, Mega Drone. So that's a good reason to like... To what? I was going to say to like maybe buy some Pixies, but you don't want to spend Pixies to get Mega Drone. You want to buy it when like you had 4 attack anyway. That you couldn't get rid of any other way. Couldn't do anything useful with. So I could get a grid here, and that might be right, but also like I don't want to buy a grid and then a matrix. I'd rather just buy a matrix. Maybe here's a good time for a Chrono Filter, right? Because I can buy a matrix and I don't really want a Tarsier though. And I don't need the matrix yet. Or the... yeah, so... I can get a conduit. I'm gonna go ahead and get a splitter, actually, since it threatens to attack, and maybe I'll get some value if my opponent doesn't build a grid. Yeah, I like that. And then it's just like a wall for a long time anyway, right? A wall that I can convert into an attacker once I have a better defender around. You want Centurion right away? That doesn't seem very good. Also, you don't have enough green, so I guess not. I guess we're doing something else with this. Yeah, let's just buy that Apollo right away. Seems good. He is getting a Centurion right away. Why? He's gonna threaten... what's he building next turn? He might threaten as much as 4, so I could get an engineer instead to make it possible to still get the grid out. The defense grid. Sure. I mean, he could threaten a little bit more if he really wanted to, but I don't see why he would. And if this engineer goes to waste, then, you know, who cares? Don't forget to attack with your splitter. Yeah, so he attacks for 4, 5. That's what I was thinking might happen. But I guess I want an engineer at some point here. Actually, maybe this is enough drones. And I should get my Animus now? Well... yeah, I guess. No. Let's get like drone conduit. This way I have access to barriers. I can... or force fields or whatever. And I'm not committed to spending much. And I can just build like some kind of good blue stuff while I continue to build up a bit. And then get the Animus like probably soonish. So I don't... Deny that Megadrone. No Megadrone for you! Okay, so I would like to get 4 attack and 2 engineers. And now I can build a Megadrone. He can't snipe anything. This feels pretty stupid, but I think denying the Megadrone is actually pretty good. Because he must really want it here. And now he's going to have enough attack that, like, yeah, the Megadrone's still going to be good, but not the end of the world. Actually, it's not even that good, because he's doing 9 damage and 5 is just about as much absorbed from me, right? So let's just buy this, which can't be sniped. And some more, another splitter. Animus now? And I guess I should take out a splitter, right? It's not doing anything this turn, but I'll be happy quite soon to have gotten rid of as many splitters as I can. Because he will start doing real damage very soon. This splitter could be a pixie, I guess? And a drone? No, I don't have any energy. Okay. This is a lot of tech, isn't it? But I have pixies. It's fine. If he doesn't buy a Mega Drone here, I don't know what is going on. Maybe I shouldn't have sniped his engineer. Maybe he wasn't going to buy it. I don't know. It's pretty amazing to me. Yeah, he has... 10 damage is a little awkward for me. But 9 is also a little awkward, I guess. I think I can make this barrier do a good job, right? I'm perfectly granular here. Do I even need the wall? Maybe the barrier is just enough. He could do 7 damage. Yeah, that's still fine. He could do 5 damage. Then the barrier is kind of silly. Okay, if he gets a tiny exploit against me, I guess that's fine, right? Yeah, this allows a couple of exploits for one, but nothing too serious. Ah, an infusion grid is also a red sink in a way, if I need granularity. Good. I think he should have attacked for one more. Yeah, that would have been better for him. This should probably be a grid. I'm losing a lot of defense this turn. Oh, I guess this pixie kills an engineer finally. Okay, great. No exploits available in my defenses unless he like snipes an engineer and then attacks for... No, he can't attack for that much. Okay. And that sniping an engineer is like just get negative value in exchange for a very small exploit, so I don't think it would be that great. Yeah, I guess that's right. Click this probably. I'm out of steel splitters. Okay. Well, that was a game. I don't know... I was going to say, I don't know how I was so far ahead of him in damage all game, but clearly that was not the case. I was way behind in damage all game, and yet I still won. Because I had way more econ and I was doing more meaningful things with my damage, I guess? I don't know. That is a bit odd. I think Splitter first was right. Barrier is pretty questionable. I think I'm probably not going to click with the Splitter anyway, because it would probably cost me my own engineer. So you can offer me the trade instead of just giving me a free barrier. I guess I had less damage, but also like my defense grid was producing a lot of value in the drones that it gave me, and I had my Apollo for a couple turns longer. That's true. And his damage was sort of wasted a lot of the time. When did I get this pixie and why? I got this pixie here, and I didn't spend it until like 8 turns later or something. So is there something better I could have done with this? The thing is, like, not really. I wanted all these other things. All these drones, this blast forge, they were all important to me. And an infusion grid, or, you know, it would have been nice. I would have taken a bit less damage from his early Centurion and stuff. So it took me a while to get out the infusion grid, right? I guess, though, that an infusion grid that I had built before getting this defense grid would have saved me 2 health, right? Twice I absorbed on Splitter when I could have absorbed on grid. But buying the Splitter, like, look how long I was attacking with the Splitter. It dealt at least 2 damage eventually. And of course, damage now is not as good as is better than damage eventually. But the damage that I was taking because of buying the Splitter was not actually all that serious. Right? It was just engineers, like, inflation on engineers was extremely low, right? And so it was not a big deal to lose them now instead of later. But I don't know. It might have been better to build a grid. Because by the time, like, okay, when do I build my first grid? I build it, like, here, turn 11. And I built my Splitter on turn 5. And I started attacking with the Splitter on turn 9. So 9 and 10 and 11. So I got 3 damage out of the Splitter. And then after that, we sort of transpose, where I have both of them. So I got 3 damage eventually instead of 2 health right away. And also I killed a barrier for free, right? Because he bought one. I mean, reasonably close. And I didn't really expect him to just, like, slam Centurion, right? So I kind of thought that this would be getting... a grid would be getting less defensive value because I didn't think attackers were coming anytime soon. And I think that I'm right to think that. I think this was way too early a Centurion. That's part of the problem. He invested a ton of money into a Centurion that, like, didn't absorb any damage for a long time. Okay, so that was the early stages. Got Apollo, got grid. Yeah, so I was a turn and a half ahead on my Apollo, I guess. Okay. And I do think the obvious play here is Snipe Steel Splitter, right? That's like one of the top Apollo targets you can get. Certainly the best thing to snipe in base set. Unless you can snipe a wall and, like, kill something important that way. But this engineer was doing a lot, and I think it was right to kill it. Because if I kill the Steel Splitter, he has a super easy Mega Drone. And what am I going to do about that? He gets, like, just a bunch more money every turn. And of course he can, like, when I kill the engineer, he can just rebuy and build the Mega Drone next turn. But the Mega Drone's much worse next turn because he has more damage, right? Well, he might have little enough that he can still sneak it in under the defense grid. But if so, I can snipe engineer again, perhaps. And anyway, delaying that 4 gold for a single turn is worth it, right? Because this engineer, like, or 3 gold? 4 gold. He represents 4 drones, sort of, kind of, in a way. So I think he's well worth taking out, just to delay it for a turn. This is kind of a $6 engineer, I guess. Because it's $2 for the health and $4 for getting the gold. Getting the $4 a turn early is also good. I was able to move smoothly into my own Mega Drone, and he couldn't do a thing about it, which was lovely. And I guess he also had sort of the wrong tech, right? I was able to build a lot of Tarsiers and Splitters, whereas he was on much less tech. Yeah, he's sort of under-teched here, right? On the on turns, he has about the right amount of tech, but on the off turns, he's quite low. And he was buying Pixies to... Okay, I guess the Pixies threaten. Like, he could have bought a Splitter instead of Pixie Gauss Cannon. And that's sort of like more efficient because you save the green. But the Pixies do threaten some, and they made me build some more defense. So, yeah, I don't know. Could work. As I mentioned, on this turn, he should have clicked one Pixie. That is a serious exploit, actually. It's an exploit for like 2, right? Because... Well, for 1. Yeah. Because instead of I don't have a way to lose 4 health worth of stuff. I have to lose 5 instead. And actually it's 6 because the barrier dies? Yeah. So this Pixie deals 3 damage. 3 damage to click this Pixie. So definitely a big mistake to not click it. And I was like having trouble calculating whether he could make a big exploit. I thought he could make a small one. I didn't realize it was so big. The thing is though, like if I build a wall, he can actually snipe the wall and still get the same value out of Pixie. Is why I was like kind of hesitant to do anything too serious about this exploit. It's quite expensive to fix the problem. Maybe worth it, maybe not. I don't know. Fortunately, with infusion grids, I became immune to exploits pretty much after that because I can always just click if I need husks. And this turn, maybe, you know, if he hadn't resigned, maybe I should have built another grid. You know, cut something to build a grid. I'm not sure what. But maybe not. I don't know. Okay, cool. Well, that was... it's nice to win a high econ game after that save your loss earlier. I know it was last episode. It was yesterday for you guys. You can barely even remember it, I'm sure. But for me, it was just, you know, an hour ago or something. Ooh, Electo. Gonna be a tough one. What is this? Tia is like a threat, but Xenoguardian and Ossified kind of protect against it. On the other hand, we have Cryo Ray. And Arca actually is quite convenient to get if you can get a Xenoguardian. He thinks it's a very high econ set, huh? Can I punish this with a Tia? Probably not. Like he'll have enough drones to build like the right defenders soon enough, I think. So I can just mirror if I want. Like if I do something really crazy, like turn 3 Tia, that's the kind of thing you make yourself vulnerable to by starting this way, right? Huh. With cryo rays, like it might actually work. I'm gonna try it. I don't have a feel for how well this works. Like how vulnerable is this super high econ opening, right? If he follows through with double vivid, like isn't he in a lot of trouble? Also, I thought I could build enough to build a Tia. I thought you can build a... Oh, you have to like cut a drone to turn 3 Tia. Whoops. Yeah, okay. I meant to do this. Yeah, okay. This is clearly a mistake. If you want to turn 3 Tia, you have to actually like not build a drone turn 1, which is pretty awful. What do I even do? Animus for Tarsiers, and then... And then the Tia? I guess. I think this is like clearly losing now. He's completely disrespecting this as well by continuing to drone. I don't know. I mean, we did get him to stop a little bit. No, we have to maintain the ability to threaten Tia. This is so dumb. Like, what's he gonna do with just 2 walls, is the thing. Or 2 blast forges. He doesn't really want... Yeah, okay. Now he can get the... Ugh, this is awful, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Like, with Cryo Rays, it's not the worst thing in the world to have this excess green, right? This is just such an awful build, isn't it? What if I built Ferret and Sax to get Arca? And then got a Tia? Well, I won't have enough attack anytime soon. So I'm thinking next turn we get Tia, Nitrocybe, and like a couple of Cryos? And we'll be threatening, what, 12 damage every turn? It's a bit hard for him to deal with, I think. I guess it's just 1 cryo, but I can build 1 cryo per turn after that, baby. Oh, man. You can cut that wall, right? I guess not. Oh, I actually kind of can't click the Rhino. He's my absorber? I need another drone to make all this tech work. Yuck. No, I think this should be a Nitrocybe. Dealing 1 actual damage is better than having 1 freeze. Okay, well, I guess that's game over then? I don't know. I thought that this kind of like vivid opening makes you extremely vulnerable to a rush. And I didn't think that Xeno Guardian would get there in time. Maybe a turn 3 Tia would have actually done it, although I don't think so. It's like, how much econ can he have by turn 3, right? Yeah, I mean, he has 12 income. That's just, yeah, this is just awful. 12 income is easily enough to defend against a Tia. If it's like a naked Tia, which is what you would get, which is the best you can get on turn 3. So cutting early for this was bad, and given that, I guess rushing for it at all was bad. I don't understand though, like, why that's the case. Because like this is supposed to only work in super high econ sets, which this is not, right? Like, there's a good absorber and some decent soak, but cryo rays, kinetic driver, Tia, like, these units apply pressure. And if this is weak against anything, it should be weak against that, I feel like, right? Like, I guess I clearly played it wrong. Like, there were some definite problems with my opening, but it just seems like his opening, the idea behind his opening is so wrong that even a kind of badly executed counter should work, but maybe not. Like, maybe it did just all come down to execution, right? And like, imagine if I built another drone this turn, and like I was floating green every turn, the whole game, right? So this conduit clearly did nothing. I could have gotten it a turn later and had more drones, if nothing else, right? And that would have let me do just a little bit more. And, you know, he could have defended a little bit more, but it would have been harder for him. And maybe if I could add enough more, he couldn't defend. I don't know. Well, I'm glad I tried it. It reminded me some basics about the game. Things I should already know. Yuck. Hang on, did I... Ah, yes, I did absorb on Tia, and it was correct, because the Rhino was attacking. Okay. I thought I had absorbed on Tia when I could have absorbed on Rhino, but no. Alright. Yeah. I mean, and look, we did actually make him force field, right? Obviously that is not the same thing as beating him, but it suggests that just, like, a slightly better line, where, like, I have another drone for many turns, which would let me get another attacker or two, might have caused him some trouble. Or if I had, like, gone a bit slower and been like DD, DDC, DA, and like double ferret and sack to get my own Xeno before I start going at him. I don't know, but then it's not really a rush at all anymore. Oh well. That's 2 games and a reasonable length for an episode. So we're done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.